Happy Friday. I'm Carissa Wiley from sprinkledwithglitter.com, and boy, do I have a fun live stream plan for you today. In fact, I see that my foil machine has timed itself out because I haven't been using it. So let's turn it back on so it's nice and hot when we get started. I'm so glad you're all with me, whether you're watching live or on the replay. It really means a lot that you come by here and you hang out with me. I'm laughing at some of the comments that are happening right now. I'm so glad you hang out with me. If you have not already and you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on the notifications and give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I love it for all of you who are here live. I see all your comments happening over there, and I love it when you chat along, when you guys connect in the chat, when you answer each other's questions. I do my best to get to everybody. If you have a question, you can type the word question in all caps and then type your question behind that. That helps me kind of see it in the chat a little bit easier. If you're watching on the replay and you have a question, leave it in the comments below. And even if you don't have a question, I love to hear from you there. So thanks for being here today. I have a couple of things. That's kind of the business, right? I am creating with the new release from Syberia Designs today, and I have a giveaway for you. I have a $20 digital gift card code to give away to one viewer who's watching here live. And the way that you're going to enter for that is you're just going to chat along in that live chat. And at the end of this YouTube live, I will randomly pick a commenter in that live chat and give away that $20 digital gift card code to one of you. And I want to say thank you to Alex for giving that to us. I have the most adorable release here in front of me, and I'm super excited to share it with you. Noreen says, I've never shopped with Syberia Designs, so I'm pretty stoked about this video. Not that my crafty wish list needs expanding. I totally get it, and I'm just gonna apologize and ask for your forgiveness in advance because your wish list might grow a little bit. I mean, the products in this, I have created with Syberia Designs before here on my YouTube channel. A couple of times. I know that one was a pre-recorded video for sure, at least one or two pre-recorded videos, and maybe even a live stream before. So it's not brand new to this channel, but it is one of those brands that you probably don't see as often. Also, Alex has shared a discount code with you to use. So you can use this Carissa_10 to save 10% off of the Syberia website. It includes the new release, which is really unusual for companies to do that. So thank you to Alex. And you can shop. I have links in the YouTube description below. I've also pinned a comment with a shopping link there. And so if you want to pick up anything or have a browse around there at some of the older products, you can check those out today. But let's get down. Oh, I was going to show you this. I created that. Is it that way? It's that way. Just to show you, save 10% with code Carissa_10. It's good today, which is Friday the 13th, and tomorrow, March 14th. I don't really get all weird about Friday the 13th. I just don't. We look a little dark here, so let's fix camera B and turn up the brightness just a bit so that you guys can see all of this stuff nice and bright on your screen. I'm going to actually increase my brightness as well. So here is the release that I have, and I have two cards planned for today. So we have a lot of crafting to get done, but I think these are going to come together relatively quickly, and I think you guys are going to like them. I have a little smile creative die here. It has the smile word and the shadow, which I think is so cute. I don't actually know if this is a newer product or if it's just something she threw in there, but this is the new release that we're creating with today. And do you see a theme here? It is so stinking cute. We have the bow shoes. This is a press plate, so you can use it with your HotFoil system or your Better Press system. Fabulous. And of course, the coordinating stencils. There is no die for this, but I'm going to show you how we can fussy cut this out today really easily. Fussy cutting doesn't have to be hard, and we'll talk about a couple of tips to make that easier for you. And then for those of you who don't do Better Press or Glimmer Hot Foil, that's okay. There's this adorable little die set as well, which is called Chic Shoes, and we're going to be creating with that today. So I have something foil and I have something die cut so that everybody can play along today. Next up is the Fancy Shoes, another set of like these flats in different designs. These again are press plates with coordinating die sets, and you can foil or Better Press with these and then die cut them out. Now I foiled a few of these ahead of time. This is one that I may not create a card with today because the two I have planned do not feature this, but you could kind of swap out this for this and do the same design that I'm going to show you today on one of my cards. There is also a press plate set and coordinating die set that's shoe sentiment. So make gorgeous shoes take you to beautiful places. And then you have all these little small sentiments that can go with are always in style. So great shoes, fab friends, and good times are always in style. And then on your birthday, you have fun on your birthday, or you have the little lovely, anyway, you have all of those. Now this is gorgeous, and we are going to use this today in coordination with our shoes. So this is Hugs and Bloom, and this is a gorgeous floral set that includes the hugs. It also has a coordinating die. I'm sorry, let me turn my phone on Do Not Disturb so that we're not getting disturbed while we're creating here today. And it has a coordinating stencil as well, so you can stencil in those gorgeous florals. I also have Delicate Frame and Friend here and the Clematis set. So I'm not sure if we'll get to those today, but we do have a couple of things planned. I'm going to start out with bow shoes, and we're going to do a little bit of hot foiling with this press plate. Now keep in mind, if foil isn't your jam, then you can always use this with your Better Press system. Hold on, I have a whole situation happening over here with cords trying to pull things down. And of course, we're making a mess. So I have already preheated my Glimmer Hot Foil platform off to the side so that it's ready to go. And I'm going to place my press plate onto the heated platform. And then I'm going to press the timer button. And that timer needs about a minute to heat up. Now, while the timer is heating up or running its course, I can grab some white cardstock because we're going to do a little hot foiling and we're going to do a little ink blending. And so I'm going to use some Hammermill cardstock today. They are gorgeous florals. And I like to keep my, especially my champagne foil in this stamp pocket here. I keep it in panels that are about A2 size, card front size. I'm just making sure that this will cover my entire press plate image here, and it will. So I'm going to get all of this prepped, and I'm also going to bring in my Platinum 6 die cutting machine so that we can run this through. Ooh, almost missed this, says Melissa Johnson. We're glad you're here. So the shoes can be used both Better Press and Glimmer. Yes, these are press plates. These are not foil plates, so they can be used with the Better Press system. All of these that I'm showing you today that I'm going to be foiling with can be used with your Better Press system or your hot foil system. Okay, so our timer has run its course. The blinking light has stopped blinking, so we know it's complete. So we're going to take our hot foil and we're going to lay it with the pretty side facing the pattern or the pretty side of our press plate. We're going to make sure that whole thing is covered. And then I'm going to add my smooth white cardstock on top, making sure everything's covered. And I am not trying to position this in a particular spot on my cardstock. I'm just getting it foiled. We're going to cut these out so it really doesn't matter. The bow shoe stencil and press plate are on the top of my list now. So stinking cute. They are so cute. And don't forget, if you are going to shop, use that code Carissa_10 today or tomorrow to get 10% off your order, because like I said, it's pretty rare for companies to offer 10% off of their new release, especially when it's in release week. And it is in release week for Alex Syberia Designs. So here we have those adorable foiled shoes. Now we can set this aside and use this with a solid hot foil plate to do some more foiling later on. But for now, I'm just going to remove my press plate from my Glimmer hot foil system, and I'm going to set it aside because we will use our hot foil system again. Just learning how to foil with this. I think once you get your feet or your bearings on the Glimmer hot foil system, it becomes like second nature, and it really is just such a fun and beautiful technique. Okay, I'm gonna turn this like this. We're gonna put those there, and we're gonna do a little bit of ink blending. Aren't they cute? And you could do this directly onto a card panel and do your ink blending, and it would be a very, very, very simple card. So we're going to take and line up the stencil. I'm just going to look through the stencil and make sure we are aligned with the foil lines that we've already done. So I'm just kind of wiggling it around until I get it in perfect positioning. Just looking at all of my lines here. And it can take a second sometimes to get to a position that you like, making sure that, you know, you're going to fill in everything. Oh my goodness, I need those plates. I know, they're so stinking cute, huh? Alex reached out to me and she said, would you be willing to create? I'll give your viewers, and I saw the release and I was like, oh yes, I will totally create with that. That is so cute. So I'm going to take, for the inside of our shoe, do you see how this is the inside of our shoe? I want it to be a different color than the actual shoe. So I'm going to blend that portion in with sand ink, and I only have a cube for the sand. And I'm gonna just open it because it's got a little piece of, you know, like a little circle tape holding it closed. So I'm just slicing that open. Hopefully not my hand. And I just wanted like a beigey color to put inside of this. And I don't want to go too dark, too heavy, too hot with it. So I'm just going to pick up some with a fluffy brush. And because I'm prone to accidents, let's just block off the top of my shoes to make sure I don't get brown in this part of my shoes with my other stencil. So I'm just kind of masking those portions off to make sure I don't get brown in the tips of the shoes. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about blending outside of this because, like I said, I'm going to be fussy cutting these out. And so I'm just going to kind of blend a little bit of a beigey tone inside of there. I'm going really light-handed. This is the first time I've ever used this ink, so I'm getting used to it. I don't want to do anything crazy. I don't want it to be like brown, but I wanted like a neutral beigey color. Question, are there stamps for this set since I don't have a better press? I did not see stamps available for this on the site, but if you go over to her site, she does have stamp sets, just not for this particular product suite. And and that code would be good on those stamp sets as well. The other thing you can always do is reach out to companies in things that you like and say, hey, I really like the shoes, you know, you ever plan on making them in a stamp set? And you can kind of check in that way as well. So we're just doing a little bit of brown. I'm hoping that in the end it doesn't look like dirty, but you know how your shoes get dirty on the inside, so maybe it's appropriate. And I'm going to take a microfiber cloth and just wipe away all of the ink that's sitting on top of my stencil and also on top of the foil. And then I'm going to take, YouTube is being wonky with showing the live countdown instead of going straight to the live video. It might have just started you at the beginning of the live, and so you can just hit the little thing and catch up. Now I'm going to take and I am going to use my stencil to mask the inside of the shoes. I think maybe I need different pieces. I have some stencil pieces that I keep, like stencil material pieces that I keep inside of my drawer. And so maybe I just need to do this because it was kind of covering the point of the shoe. And I don't want to do that. But I don't want to get, we're going to do nectar shoes. And we're going to have a Wildberry bow. But I don't want to get the nectar into the brown area. So now today I'm trying out the background blenders from Waffle Flower Crafts. Never tried these before, but they are like the cutest blending brushes ever. There's a red set, there's a blue set. They're linked in the YouTube description below. So I'm going to try these out for the first time. I've never used these before. They do seem to have a more like compact bristle pattern than the Pink Fresh, which I'm used to. So when you're using something a little more compact like this, it's going to put down more ink. So I'm just going to be aware of that. And we're going to just blend here and create some nectar shoes. Okay. Now, if you know me, if you've been around here at all, then you know, oh, the red shoe event for the, oh, that would be so cute. And to do these in red, that would be cute. You know, when I'm doing my blending, that I don't necessarily keep track of like where a light source is, but I do like to have some light and some dark areas in my blending, just so that there's like a differentiation, right? So I'm going to add more pressure and more ink in certain areas and then be a little lighter handed in other areas. So we'll just kind of build up color around some of the edges and allow it to be a little bit lighter towards the center. And that will give us some contrast in our blending and just make me feel better overall. Now, I am not sure that I'm gonna love the brown inside the shoes after this. We may have to redo the whole thing. Okay, so now we have our nectar down and we can remove stencil number 1. So I have just these. We'll see what the brown looks like. It's very brown. I'm not sure about the brown inside. I have another set of shoes already foiled, so we can use those if we decide we want to do a different color. Okay. I am going to line up the stencil number 2, which is for the bows on the shoes. And I don't need to mask anything off because this is it's all bow. So I'm not looking for 2 different colors here. And I'm going to use watermelon for this. So let's grab some watermelon ink. And I'm just going to kind of blend off on my mat. And brand new blending brushes can be a little finicky. So just keep that in mind until they get like kind of seasoned where they have quite a bit of ink in them. They can be a little finicky. So just, you know, proceed with caution when you're using a brand new blending brush. Question, does the code be applied at the UK store? I don't know, but give it a try. I don't think there was a restriction on it for the UK store. If you're shopping at alexsyberia.com, I didn't realize that there was like a separate UK store. So you can give it a try, but like I said, I don't know for sure. All right, nectar color is beautiful. I love the nectar color too. All of these very girly releases this month, and it's just making my heart sing. So you can see I'm going a little darker and deeper towards the center of the bow. And then we're going to wipe this off, and I'm going to take a small ink blending brush, like a mini, and I am going to grab some Wildberry ink and go just at the center of the bow here and add a little bit of that Wildberry around the center of the bow, and it really makes it electric. That blending, it's so pretty. Okay. All right. Red shoe event. I've never heard of a red shoe event. Is that like a thing? Is that like a thing? All right, let's see what we have. Okay, definitely do not like the brown inside of the shoes. So we're gonna do this again. I love everything else, okay? I love everything else but the brown inside of the shoe. So I'm gonna redo this. I have these foiled somewhere else. And we're just gonna redo this. And this time, I think we'll just do nectar in all of it, but we'll do it deeper at the tips of the shoes. So like it's more saturated at the tips of the shoes, and we'll do it less saturated inside the shoes. You never know until you try. I thought I was gonna want this beigey color, but it just looks dirty to me for this particular image. So let's get it lined up with the bow, and then everything else should fall into place. And I'm sorry you're seeing my head while I get that lined up. Okay, so a do-over is in order. But like I said, I think these cards are fairly easy, so they'll come together quickly. So let's do, again, nectar. I did like the nectar with these, with the watermelon bow. I'm kind of doing like this, like a little bit like ombre color palette today. I'm using nectar, watermelon, almond, and Wildberry. And Wildberry is kind of like the punch. But let's just do this and just do a really light coating of the nectar inside of the shoe, so that it looks different from the tip of the shoe. Do you see how that looks? A little bit different. And then I think we'll be good. I think I'll be happier with this in the long run than I will be the brown. Still kind of like a nude color, but you can see I'm concentrating a little more ink at the toes of the shoes than in the interior portion of the shoes. All right. International Red Shoe Day is July 25th for Lyme disease awareness. Ah, I learned something new today. I did not know about that. Very cool. And they would be so cute in red with like a black bow. So cute. And like I said, I feel like these are pretty easy to put together and blend. So I think you could make things with this set pretty easily. Okay, let's put stencil number 2 in place around the bows. Gonna get it all worked into place. And we're gonna do the same colors that we did before. We're gonna do watermelon. And then we'll do the Wildberry in the center. So concentrating the watermelon towards the center of the shoe so that our bow is a little bit lighter on the outside. Okay. And that will also kind of help the Wildberry, which is really intense, kind of blend into the other portions of the shoes. Mother's Day, yes, I think that these would be great for Mother's Day. They have, there is a birthday sentiment in the coordinating sentiment set, so you can check those out. It says on your birthday. And I love that sentiment in the sentiment set that says, may gorgeous shoes take you lovely places or beautiful places or something like that. And I think that's just such a fun sentiment to pair with this. Oh, that bow looks so pretty with the foiling, says Melissa. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, let's add the Wildberry. Oh my goodness, so pretty. I love watermelon and Wildberry together. I think they look spectacular. Okay. Just that brightness in the center, that just makes it pop. It's like electric. Okay, we have ink everywhere. So we are going to wipe this up before I get ink all over my project and we ruin another one. So let's get this taken off. And look at our adorable shoes. So cute. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna roll it off of my mat. And let's go ahead and fussy cut. Now let's talk about fussy cutting, because I know all of you probably hate it. It's not my favorite, but I think this is a seriously easy image to do. And I like to use a smaller scissor for this. I'm going to cut these apart so that I'm not trying to deal with a larger piece of cardstock than I need to, because that will make my life easier too. Okay, so we're gonna just cut off some extra. We're gonna trim these roughly down the center, just like that. And then what we're gonna do as we fussy cut is I'm gonna hold the I'm right hand dominant, just keep this in mind. I am going to hold the paper in my left hand and I am going to cut with my right hand. And as I need to change direction, I am going to move the paper with my left hand. I'm not moving my scissors. I'm not trying to make the corners with my scissors. Instead, I'm going slow and I'm just quickly, I'm going slow, but I'm just turning the paper with my left hand as I make my way around the corners. And then I kind of get rid of some of that could get in my way as I'm cutting. And just gonna go around this, leaving a little bit of an outline like a die would. But this is going to allow me to give these some dimension on my card, but you could create some fabulous one-layer cards with these as well and just do this directly onto the front of your card. Now, the reason I'm not is because I want to add a background using those gorgeous florals I showed you earlier with that floral image. So I'm just gonna do this. It won't take long at all, I promise. It'll be fairly painless. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I promise you that that little edge that you see that you think is imperfect, nobody else is gonna notice. So just allow yourself to do it. Now, this is designed to go off the edge. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut around the ink blending for now. And as we position those on our card front, then we'll deal with it. I'm a fussy cutting gal. It's my pastime with my grandma for her treatments or long doctor appointment lobby weights. That's great. Okay, so we're gonna do the other one. Again, just snipping off some of the extra that we don't need because it makes our life easier. And we're just gonna go in here, hold with our left, and that's where we're gonna steer our paper, is with our left hand or your non-dominant hand. If you're left-handed, then this would probably be reversed for you. Go slow and just turn the paper with your left hand, or your non-dominant, I should say. And that's gonna give us a great little fussy cut image. Now, some of these angles are like straight lines, so it's not hard to do it at all, right? Like along this side of the shoe right here, pretty straight. So it goes pretty quickly. Hey, just made it to watch. Thanks for being here. Kind of peeking up. I agree, moving the paper while fussy cutting saves time and makes it easier. I think you get a smoother cut if you're moving the paper and not your scissors. And I think most people will tell you that their most successful fussy cuts are when they are moving the paper and not the scissors. Okay, So now we have both of our shoes fussy cut. That didn't take long at all. It was rather painless, and you can do it. Your cutting looks perfect. I assure you, it is not perfect, but because you're not doing the cutting, you're not seeing the imperfections. Okay, we're gonna turn our HotFoil machine on again, and we're going to take the Hugs and Bloom, and we're going to place it on there. So very talkative. We don't mind talkative around here at all. Okay, but I do need to do a little bit of planning on where I'm going to place this. So I'm going to set those aside. I'm going to grab a piece. I'm kind of tempted to do this. Hold on. Ooh, okay, this is almond cardstock. It would look really cute on almond cardstock. Let me grab a piece of that, and we'll use that as our background. So I need more almond cardstock already. I'm down to 2 pieces. Okay, so I'm thinking with this monochromatic look, maybe it's not. Maybe we need to go with white. Let me look. No, let's do white. Okay, I'm gonna trim this down to an A2 size piece, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You guys, I have real pants on today. I don't know if you can tell. I have real pants on. Okay, now I want this to kind of be like this on my card, and I'm not sure like where these were designed to go, but I kind of want them, I think they were designed like this-ish. Nope, that looks wrong. I kind of want them to come in over the florals like this and have the florals like coming out. So I'm thinking around here. But here's the deal. I want the florals to be more of like a background element. Think of when you stamp a floral in the background and it is stamped in gray ink, how it makes a nice kind of tonal background. So in order to do this, I'm going to use a matte silver foil and kind of mimic. Now I could use this in the Better Press, and I could totally make this where it was like, you know, gray ink and press it onto the paper. But I thought the silver matte foil would be a really pretty way to use this on a card front. So I'm just kind of eyeballing where I think it needs to be. I'm kind of holding this in place, and I can see where the edges are. I can see where my tip's going to hit. And then I'm going to place all of this onto my Glimmer Hot Foil platform. Now there's much more precise ways of doing this. However, I don't feel like doing those precise ways today. So we're just gonna do it this way, place it onto our Glimmer Hot Foil system. We're gonna set the timer. We're gonna let the timer run, and then we're gonna carefully move this out. Now, will this be like super precise? Probably not. But is it gonna give a background that's gonna be beautiful on our card? Absolutely. So I'm not super worried about it. And I'm just gonna look at how these are kind of designed. I think this one comes on like this. I'm just looking to see how these go. Okay. Now we don't have to use them like this, but this is kind of how they were designed. So we'll have that floral coming out, and we can kind of use this as a guide for how we place it. Okay. So while that's heating up, let's grab the Platinum 6 and bring it in. Now my next card project also has, I actually have these sketched out. Y'all, I don't do this very often, but I sketched out cards for today. I sketched them out. This is the one we're working on right now. This is the other one that we're gonna do, which is with the die cuts. But look what else I've been working on. Custom stamps with my laser. Isn't that fun? been experimenting. Okay, so now we're going to do this. And since our other project has that floral in the center as well, we'll go ahead and foil that as well at the same time so that we're kind of maximizing. Is the part behind the bow the shoe or the person's foot? It's the inside of the shoe. And you know how you can tell that? Because there's a tag. I'll show it to you. See where the label is right here? And it's got stitching. So that's the inside of the shoe. Now we're gonna see, did we get it? What did I do? Oh my goodness, I put my foil on backwards. I don't think I've ever done that before, but do you see I have a little impression? Okay. Hard to tell the difference. I don't do that very often. It's okay. It didn't even transfer to my hot foil plate, so I'm not worried about it at all. I'm going to use the same piece. We're going to use this. We're going to do it again. Let's see if we get a good impression, even though this matte foil does like to curl more than the other. So let's do it like this-ish. Let's put these on. It happens to the best of us, y'all. Okay, and the plate's already hot because it's already run through the timer and it's been sitting there while I've been finicking with my foil. That's what I would do. You know what? It's not a big deal if you do it. I mean, like we mess up stamped images sometimes, right? I mean, it happens. So don't worry about it. But I was like, why didn't it foil? Okay. So now we have those beautiful flowers right there. All right. So then we'll have like this and this. We'll have the flowers kind of coming in, and we might just do them, since we fussy cut them, we might do them like this and just trim across the bottom so we get something like that. Okay. Now we're going to do this again for our second card. And I'm going to grab some more matte silver foil, and this time we're going to do it the correct way. And I need another A2 size panel, and then we'll trim it down. I am human just like you guys. I think a lot of people think that we create and because we do it on YouTube or something, we never make mistakes. False. Okay. When you're working with foil, the ugly side or the dull side always goes towards the paper. So if you're stacking this up, what you can do is just stack it up on the paper. Now, like I said, is this the most precise way to do this? No. Does it get the job done? Absolutely. Hi, Moach. What you doing, Betty? All right. The flowers are so pretty, and there is a coordinating stencil set so that you can stencil these florals in, which again, another beautiful idea for Mother's Day. Okay. So we have these, and we're going to set this aside, and we're going to turn off our foil because it's making me hot. And now we have our background for our second card, which I'll show you in just a moment. Hold on just a second. Okay, I had to go break up the fight out there. It wasn't really a fight. They were just mad because the UPS guy is here. And I have no idea what he's doing here. Like, I don't think I ordered anything. So, anyway. So now we have our florals. We have our shoes. And I really do want to trim this down a little bit more. And so we'll have a little less shoes, but a little more floral. And so what I want to do with that, I know, right? Can the better press plates be used in the glimmer machine? Yes, I'm showing that today, Lori. The Better Press plates can be used with your Glimmer HotFoil system or with your Better Press. So press plates can be used for both machines. The ones that cannot be used for both machines are the foil plates. If it says foil plate, not press plate or not Better Press plate, then it can only be used in your Glimmer HotFoil system. But a press plate can be used in your HotFoil system, which I'm showing today, or in your Better Press system. So yes, the florals and shoes are a cute pair. UPS must be there, says Marcy Crafter. Yes. We're working on not barking obsessively at things. And so I just needed to go get their attention and they stopped immediately. So that's the good news. Now I think I'll just cut this other one similarly. This is an A2 nesting die set from Spellbinders. I use this probably, I use it all the time. You can also use press plates with most die cutting machines. So press plates you can use to make an impression with a die cutting machine, but you cannot cut with them, just to be clear on that comment. Okay, so now we have 2 card fronts. Now you could add some ink blending to this background if you wanted. I don't think I want to. I think I want it just super simple, and we're going to trim these off. And then we're probably going to use one of these sentiments, which I foiled ahead of time. Now this is from the Shoe Sentiments press plate set, and it's got a coordinating die set. It all comes in one. I love it when companies do this where they have like the sentiments press plates and the dies all in one set. And there is another shoe set that has the press plates. I'll show it to you here in just a bit. But it has press plates and die cut, the dies, the coordinating dies all in one as well. And it's a shoe design. So, and for those of you who don't do foiling, hang out, because I do have another card idea that we're going to be doing, and it features just die cutting. So you can create with this release as well. So I'm just lining up the coordinating dies for the sentiments that I foiled ahead of time. And I'm going to run that through. And you see how that creates just a really beautiful tonal background with those florals. And I love, love, love these sentiments. They're so cute. Okay, well, the dogs are being really great now. So they're like at my feet because I told them here. So they're hanging out with me now. And this says, "May gorgeous shoes take you beautiful places." We may need to do that on like a colored cardstock, but we'll hang out and wait for just a second on that. We could also blend over the background to give it a little bit of color, but I also just really love this on your birthday. Just that simplicity of that. And it's hard to see on the camera right now, but it's definitely readable in real life. Okay, so let's get some foam adhesive on my shoes. And here's the kicker. Because we're gonna be trimming these off along the bottom of the card, I don't wanna put foam adhesive like down here where I'm gonna have to trim through all those layers. So I'm going to focus it towards the toe of the shoe and where the bows are. So we'll do this, and we will do this, and then we're going to trim off the rest. Doesn't bark at people at our door. She is opinionated with us, though. That's great. You know, my Bernedoodle, when I first got her, didn't bark either, but the Maltipoo was a barker already, and he essentially taught her to bark at people coming to the door. So that was like, she was very quiet when we got her, and he ruined it all. So we like these like this. Do they need to go like this? Okay, let's do this. We're gonna put this here. And I'm okay with it coming off of this side over here. And we're gonna do this one like this. And then we're gonna trim off the excess. It's once you start to foil, it's hard to stop. I agree. It's like, it's such a fun technique. And just beautiful, beautiful results. Okay. So now I'm okay with this that's coming off the sides of this card front, but on the bottom, I want to trim. So you know what might be better? A trimmer. So let's do this and let's just put it in the trimmer. And let's line up the bottom of that card front with the rail. And then we're just gonna slice through those and take off the bottom there. So they're just coming in from the bottom. And then we can do this on your birthday. But let's wait on the sentiment because I feel like we might change our mind. And look how pretty this would be on the almond. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that on the almond, but I don't know what sentiment I want first. This Make Gorgeous Shoes Take You Beautiful Places is beautiful. However, it covers a lot of my floral design there. So I don't know that I want to do that. So I'm thinking the On Your Birthday because it's just simple and beautiful. And I think that it could be really fun. Okay, so we won't finish this up yet. We're just gonna sit on it. We're gonna marinate, which I tend to do a lot. Let's cut this in half because I do think I want this almond card base. So we're gonna set this aside and we're gonna place that to the side, all of our pieces, and we'll come back and put it together after we've done our second card, which we may do in the same colors. Okay, second card, we already did the floral background. And for this one, I'm going to use, I have a mess happening over here, y'all. I'm gonna use the die set. Now there's two. Remember I told you about the press plate set that has the little shoes with the dies? So this is a press plate set, which has shoes that have patterns on them that you can foil. And then you can use the coordinating dies to die cut this out. So I foiled a few of those ahead of time. We're not gonna use these for this card project, but look at these. Aren't these cute? Oh, I love them so much. So if you wanted to do more foiling, you could do this. But I told you, because some of you don't have, you know, the foil system or you're not into foiling or better press, I'm gonna use the die set. Now this is a standalone die set that you can use. It has the shoe insoles, like the base piece and the insole. It has this part, which creates the color of your shoe. And then you have 2 bow options, 2 florals, and 2 floral centers. Why is it that really pretty shoes are never as comfy as they are pretty? Because beauty is pain, right? The shoes are a lot of fun. And like I said, for those of you who aren't into it, there's like don't do the foiling or whatever, then there is an option for you. Okay. Now I want to show you, I've actually already die cut some of these. So this has a pattern in it. It has kind of like a leopard pattern. And this is the base of your shoe. So everything builds off of this. So I'm going to place that onto my die cutting sandwich. And then I am going to grab some almond cardstock if I have a little scrap around here. And I'm going to do this one, which has the stitching. Now you can skip the one with the stitching, but you can't skip the one with the pattern, okay? And then the other pieces are here, just like this. and you'll cut those out of whatever color you want your shoe to be. So let's do watermelon, and let's die cut all of these at once. I wish I could wear them also. I know, me too. I'm kind of a Birkenstocks girl, and I have a pair of New Balance that I really like, but I would love to wear beautiful shoes. The heel thing, I've started to the point where I just can hardly even stand to wear high heels anymore, and I used to wear them all the time. So I'm sad about that because I feel good in a pair of high heels. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so you would do that 2 times to create 2 shoes, or if you only want 1 shoe, it's up to you. So I've gone ahead and done that ahead of time. Okay, I have 2 shoes. Let's grab these pieces. And I think I need another bow. So I have a bow cut over here already, which has 3 pieces. And I know you're thinking they're all the same color. Well, we can do a nectar bow on here. Oh, I love the nectar on there. Let's do the nectar bow, and we'll do a little watermelon ink blending. So I'm gonna take a scrap of nectar cardstock and we'll cut another bow. So let's just do, I picked the bigger bow from this set. There's like a smaller bow and a more prominent bow. I've chosen the more prominent bow because I'm an extra like that. And I'm gonna bring this, die cut this so I have a second bow for my other pair, or my other shoe, because both the shoes need it. Okay, so now we have our bow. And we can start assembling our shoes, but I think I want to do just a little ink blending on these. So let's just do this. I'm going to make a mess of my workstation, and that's okay. But we're going to do Wildberry on the watermelon. So I could use my mat. I'm not going to. Okay, and then for those of you just coming in, because I haven't mentioned it in a bit, I'm creating with products from the brand new Alex Syberia Designs release, and Alex has shared a discount code for all of you to use. It is Carissa_10. You can save 10% off your purchase site-wide over at Alex Syberia Designs. I have the link pinned in the comments there, where you can find it, or I have links to the individual products in the YouTube description below. And it includes this new release. So many times companies don't give a discount code in release week for their new release, but Alex has so generously done that. And I also have a giveaway for those of you who are here at the end of the live. So we have those ready. And then we're going to wipe up the work surface, and we're going to, let's assemble the base of the bow first before we do the blending, and then we'll do the blending on that. So bow comes together very easily. I have my microfiber cloth here. I was like, I just pulled another clean one out and I couldn't find it, and now I see it. But we'll do some rubbing alcohol to clean up this beautiful Wildberry ink. And there's some up here too. Just gets everywhere, doesn't it? I used to wear heels, but I sure can't wear them anymore. I feel like that too. I just feel like I'm dying when I wear them. Okay, so the bow, let's see. There's 2 bows here, so we're gonna try not to get them mixed up, the pieces. They are a little different, so 1 of each. Let's go ahead and glue them together. And I'm going to use tweezers for this. It'll make my life easier. And I'm going to use some liquid glue. And we will just line up the centers here to where they align, and that will create our little bow for the shoe. Oh, I love this bow. I think you could use it for more than just the shoe. So much fun. And let's do it with the other bow as well. Now these dies are a lot of fun. The little bonus dies that are in this, which includes the bows as well as a couple of florals, have so much dimension because they have lines that kind of impress into the die cut. Let me show you. Do you see those lines? Add a lot of dimension. It's so much fun. Okay, now let's take the little knot of the bow and add that as well. And then I'm going to give it a second and let it dry. We'll put together, we'll let the glue dry, and then we'll put together the base of the shoes while the glue is drying, and then we can come back and do a little bit of ink blending. How cute are these bows? The bow itself could be like a whole die set, in my opinion. It's so stinking cute. High heels were probably invented by a man who didn't have to wear them. Maybe. I mean, I wish I could wear them because I feel like I love to feel feminine and girly. It's just part of who I am. And I love the way they make me feel when I wear them. But not feel physically. Does that make sense? Okay. So we have that textured part, which I told you about. Look at all that texture. Now you can put the shoes together with just the textured part, or you can do the little stitched part and it just inlays. So just like that. So it's just kind of right in the center of that, and it gives you the little stitching, which I think is fun. That and pantyhose. So funny. Do we have any guys here in the chat? Sometimes we have some guys here in the chat. They're probably like, these women are just complaining. Okay. I'm sure they have things that they wear that we don't understand either. Okay. So there's that. And then these just go right over the top. So let's just put these together. Right here. A little bit of liquid glue. Stay on horseback while fighting archery. Interesting. Did not know that. Did not know that. I mean, the Pilgrims guys wore heels, right? So Adriana says heels were invented by warriors to help them stay on horseback while fighting archery. Okay, so this part goes here. And then we have our little shoe. We don't have a bow yet. Don't worry. 'Tis coming. I'll put just a block over that. And we'll put our other shoe together. No, but my husband is listening and just laughed. Oh, good. At least we're humoring him while he listens, right, Roberta? Okay, so now I'm going to put together my other shoe. See how quickly these come together? Really fun. And if you have like a stripe stamp or a smaller floral stamp, you could stamp on this shoe before you put it together and add some pattern to your shoes. So that's an option for customizing this. This would be fun for those of you who were talking about the red shoe events. I think that would be a lot of fun. Let's take and do a little ink blending with some watermelon ink onto the centers of these bows. Now for this, I'm going to use a micro blending brush because I want to have a lot of control over where I put the ink. And hopefully this glue is dry enough that I'm not going to pull up all my pieces. And it looks like we're doing good there. So looks like we're dry enough. It's also going to kind of bring those details in the center of the bow to life a little bit. So then those will be here. And we're going to do the same thing on the other bow. Ooh, we got a little hot there. It's okay. Just kind of buff it out. All right. So have that all blended there. So cute. Brings those bows to life, I really think. Just that little bit of blending on the shoe and the bow. We didn't do it on every single piece of our shoe, like we didn't do it on the center part of our shoe, but it's a lot of fun. And then what I'm thinking is we have these kind of here in the center, and I have the florals from the set that I've die cut. And let's see, I have more, and I have the floral centers with a little bit of yellow. I love me some yellow. So let's put those together, but let's do blending on those first. So let's just do Wildberry on the watermelon. I'm just using whatever's left on the brush. Just giving it a little fire. And then same thing here, but we're gonna grab, we need more ink for this one. We need more ink. Anybody have questions? Oh, I'm so glad you guys love the colors. I'm obsessed with the watermelon, nectar, almond color palette. And then I love having this little bit of yellow for the floral centers. I think it's a really nice pop. So this is the almond here. This is the nectar, and that's the watermelon. It makes a nice little triad of colors. Now let's grab a little perfect picker to put the floral centers in the middle of the florals. So I'm just going to add some liquid glue. It looks like they're different for each of the florals, but we'll figure this out as we go along. So I'm going to put the two that are alike together. So these two look alike, and these two look alike. And this one that has 3 petals, looks like this one goes here, that center. So we'll put it on the 3-petal one over here as well. Kind of looks like it fits there better. And then this one goes here. This one goes here. Now, do I need all of these? Probably not. But I was thinking we have just a couple of these here. Just like that. Oh, I love this. This would be an adorable Mother's Day card. So we'll do those 3 there. And then I kind of want to add some green to this. And I don't know if this is going to work. But I have this Clematis set. This is a large kind of die that you can put a lot of details on, and I'm going to pull it off the packaging. Don't you love the tape that they use on the packaging? They all do it. Okay, there we go. And I have some lemongrass. Let's do lemongrass. This is a more intricate die. So instead of cutting into my magnetic mat, I am going to use a metal shim, and I'm going to cut into the A plate. Wedding or bridal shower card. Oh yes, for sure. Okay. And then let's get this out. And my idea is just kind of to take and cut some of these viney elements, not necessarily use the floral pieces of this, but the viney elements to kind of fill in. So maybe like cut this here and this, that, and maybe have just like tuck it kind of under here for a little bit of green. And maybe this. And then this one we're just gonna Just do a little curved cut, a little snip there. So we have that. That might be enough for us. We might just need a couple little pieces. Yeah, I think just a couple little bits of that green. Okay, so now we know what we want, right? Let's get it together. So I'm just gonna hold these just like they were. I'm gonna glue them together by sticking my glue nozzle between and just kind of doing that. I'm gonna hold them there. We're gonna add our bow. And I think not all the way at the, so most bows are probably at the curve of the shoe right here, but I think I'm going to move it down just a little bit to where it's more centered in the toe portion of the shoe. And I'm going to make sure that I'm going to orient my bows kind of in the same direction. So I have the dual points down here on this bow. I'm going to make sure that the dual points are pointing to the inner part of the shoe on the second shoe. And then I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to add some foam adhesive to the back. Now, I like to, when I'm dealing with two pieces that are coming together, I kind of like to make sure that the foam overlaps the two pieces that are being held together because it just kind of shores it up a little bit. So I'm making sure that those kind of overlap and have some foam there. I'm out of like little pieces of foam. I need some to cut down. Guys, doing okay? Got to have these shoes. They're so cute. And like I said, I love that there's a dye option if you aren't into like the press plate thing. Okay, now these were kind of like this, right? Kind of like that. So we're going to add some foam to the back of these. Let's get them kind of lined up how we want them. Again, I like to take them and hold them in my tweezers and then just kind of like adjust them out. Yeah, I think that's bueno. I like it. And I'm going to just add some foam, again, overlapping where they intersect so that it all kind of stays together. Give it some support. Okay, let's get these put down since we're good. I really love this set. Might have to splurge. Lots of possibilities with the shoes. Yeah. And then, like I said, I have links in the YouTube description below. If you use the code Carissa_10 today, March 13th, and tomorrow, March 14th, you can save 10% off of this collection and any other thing in the Alex Syberia Design shop. So just make sure you use that code. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying kind of like a little mix-up of products today. So we have our shoes. Now we're going to do our florals right there. And of course we have our florals in the background as well. Oops, hold on. My tweezers ripped my foam adhesive right out of there. And then we're going to take these guys and just kind of tuck them in. Let's trim this off. Add a little liquid glue. And we do have a $20 digital gift card code to Alex Syberia Designs to give away at the end. So stick around. Still more to come. I'm loving this little pop of this bright green. So this is lemongrass. It's a very yellowy green, very bright. I'm so glad you guys are loving the cards today. This guy, because of the foam issue problem, foam adhesive problem, we're having we're having a hard time staying here. So let's just do this. And we'll put you back down where you go. And then maybe we just trim this guy and then kind of stick it here. I love that. So just kind of surrounding those shoes with florals and greenery. Question, what is the name of the set again? This die set is called Chic Shoes. Joy, I am using Alex Syberia today. Alex Syberia Designs. This is a brand new release this week. And we're having a great time. And keep in mind, if you came in late, but you want to check out all that we talked about today, we've talked a lot about foiling and different things, fussy cutting. You can watch this from the beginning and check out all the tips and the things that we talked about here. So, all right. Love that. Okay, now, remember, we're not done with card number 1 just yet. We have 2 cards happening here today. I was ambitious. I was like, we're going to do 2 cards because there was so much good stuff in this. So let me grab, and now we can make final decisions. So let's move some of this out of the way. And by move it out of the way, I'm just really just pushing it away. So this is card number 1 that we've been working on. And that's the on your birthday sentiment. And then card number 2, I think we could do Are Always in Style. So this says Are Always in Style. And then I'm thinking I already hot foiled the little smaller sentiments, and there is like a little die. So I'm thinking we do Fab Friends Are Always in Style. I did this on black. I did black foil on watermelon, or I did gold foil on nectar. Let's try gold foil on nectar to bring in the gold that we're using. We're doing mixed metals today, you guys, and it's okay to use more than one color of foil on a single card. So I'm just lining up that tiny little sentiment die with my foiled image and running that through. Okay, and we do like a Fab Friends Are Always in Style. I think that's cute. Love that. Okay. I'm ready to put it. Oh, sorry, Mochi. That just scared the tar out of my little dog. I feel like this needs something. Do we feel like that? Let's do this. May regret this. Always. But let's do some watermelon blending over this. Just like this. Give it some color. I'm gonna grab my tweezers to help me hold it as I blend towards the top. Kind of doing a little darker at the bottom and then blending out towards the top. Okay, and then we're gonna take this. It has some Wildberry ink still on it, and we're just going to barely kiss the bottom with that. Blend over it with the watermelon again. And then clean up here. And I think, yes, that's what that needed. This is on your birthday. Wish I had these shoes. Card number 1 is so elegant. It is. It's just so fun. And you could use this, so I fussy cut these shoes out, but you could use it directly onto a card front and keep it a little more simple. Totally up to you. I just wanted to give you kind of another way to use these products. So we're gonna do this. Let's get my tweezers. Things work out better when I use my tweezers. And let's go, let's go right there, kind of connected to the bow. Okay. Now there is like a have fun sentiment that we could pair with it. I'll give you a look at how it would look. So like you could do another little sentiment strip on there, but I think I'm gonna just leave it on your birthday. Let's do this on a panel. Let's go ahead and score both of our cards. We're only an hour and 20 minutes in, and we've created 2 cards, and I even stenciled one thing twice. If you guys, what we'll do, I'm gonna finish these 2 cards. I'm gonna choose the winner, and for those of you who want to stick around to see this floral piece, ink blended, maybe we'll ink blend that real quick together, just to kind of create, maybe not create a card with it, but you know, show you this floral in a different light. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are liking this. Okay, so here we're gonna do that, and we're gonna add this there. Okay, that's very simple, very simple. Okay, and we're gonna place this down. I hope you guys are all having a great time chatting with each other. I'm kind of peeking up every so often and catching what I can. Oh, so pretty. Love that. Okay, so there's card number 1. We could add some sequins. You know, I'm never against a few sequins on my card. And then we're gonna score card number 2 right here. We're going to place that on foam. So I use the same rectangle die, so we're kind of, you know, not really reinventing the wheel here. We're just arranging things. These cards do have some of the same elements, right? We have the floral in the background, and we have, you know, that rectangle that's cropped in. We have shoes. Yes, it has been a joy crafting with the group. Everyone is so friendly. I love that. I love that you all feel welcome and find companionship and friendship here. This is a very friendly people here. We are a friendly people. Sparkle and shine. Yeah, and that's where, I mean, honestly, the foil goes so far in doing that. And even in this background, just having that little bit of foil shine, so pretty. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are liking this. Okay, so let's do this and place that there in the center. Looks like that. And then you could put great shoes, but I chose Fab Friends, and we're gonna like just nestle tuck this sentiment in underneath those leaves think that's the perfect opportunity for that. So we only need foam adhesive on the back left side because it's going to overlap our shoes and into our florals and stuff. So we're going to do this and do this right in here, kind of have that leaf, the leafery, as I like to say. We may need a double. Let's do a double layer of foam because it feels like it needs just a little bit more loft to make proper contact. All right, do this. Oh yeah, the double layer was what it needed. I feel like it needs some down there too, but we're gonna skip that for now. Okay, let's get our card straight so we can make sure our sentiment's where we want it. Let's bring that down about there. The only thing this card is missing from my view is some vellum. Like, I don't know why, but I just want some vellum. Oh, I like that kind of lined up with the edge of that card. So let's just put a little bit of foam on this strip. And we'll place that kind of in the line with the edge of our card there. I feel like that kind of balances all of this. Do you see that? Fab friends are always in style. Okay, so there you have it. Simple, a little more, like, got a little more going on card number 2. Let me know which one is your favorite. If you're watching on the replay, I'd love to hear from you as well. Are you digging card number 1 with the more simplistic vibe on your birthday card? Are you digging card number 2 with all the die cuts? I feel like I tried to do something for everyone since not everyone, like I said, does foiling, but you could definitely do this with the die cuts if you're not into the foiling, and maybe stamp or better press, letter press this in the background with the gray ink. It would be so beautiful. I really am liking card number 2, I'm not gonna lie. I think card number 1's fabulous as well in its own simplistic way. And even though it's a very simple card, it does have a lot going on with the foiling in the background, the foiling on the shoes, and on that sentiment as well, which I think is really beautiful. So let me know. Card 1, birthday card. I love 1. 2 is my fave, but they're both beautiful. It's a toss-up. Don't make me choose. Love them both. A lot of people loving the simplicity of number 1. So if you came in late, number 1 uses the press plate and stencils called Bow Shoes. This is a 1-piece press plate. I did do some fussy cutting, but you could definitely foil this directly onto a card front and just do it like this and color it in with the stencils, and you wouldn't even have to fussy cut and add extra layers. I just wanted to show it in a different way today. So hopefully you enjoyed that. We do have, I need to pull up my phone because I need to find the email address. I forget that you guys can see my phone when I do that. So let me pull up the email address for claiming your prize. Okay. I have a $20 digital gift card code for Alex Syberia Designs for one of you. And I'm going to close my eyes. I'm just going to scroll up in the comments, and where my mouse lands, that's going to be the winner. Okay. So closing my eyes, closing. I'm going up, I'm going down. I'm doing just like a variety of things here, back and forth. And the winner is Hanifa Gets Crafty. So Hanifa, congratulations. You won the $20 digital gift card code from Alex Syberia Designs. So you're going to claim that prize by emailing info@alexsyberiadesigns.com, and Alex will get that sent out to you. I'll send your information over to her. So thank you all for joining me. If you want to go on your merry little way, you can. I'm going to chat here for a couple more minutes. I'm going to add just a few sequins to these cards, I think. Congrats. Yes. And for those of you that came in late, there is a code Carissa_10 to save 10% off today and tomorrow over at Alex Syberia, even on this brand new release here. So you can save 10% off using that code. I do have links to all of these products in the YouTube description below. So if you're looking for something in particular, you can click that. There is a visual supply list there where you can expand it and see pictures of the products if that's helpful for you in your shopping. So just click that more button in the YouTube description to see all of those things. Let's add some sequins to these cards to finish off. And then I think I'm going to hang around here for just a few more minutes. And I'm not going to make another card. However, I am going to show you this floral piece with the coordinating stencils. So if you want to see that colored and stenciled in instead of just used as a background, stick around with me for a few more minutes and we'll do that. But I did want to give people the opportunity who have been hanging out here and creating along with me and waiting for that giveaway an opportunity to dodge out if they wanted to. I really want to appreciate it. If you are heading out, I want to appreciate you and say thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out with me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Let's get these sequins down. My glue, of course, is causing problems, making this much more difficult than it needs to be. But let's just do a quick foil and blend of this floral. And I'm going to use the same colors that we've been using throughout. So we're not going to reinvent the wheel. We're just going to use what we already have out on the desk. So watermelon, nectar, wildberry, and we're going to see what we can create with that. Sound good? Cynthia, thank you, says, I wish I could stay. I have to go. You can always watch the rest of this on the replay if you have to dodge out, but you do want to see this floral colored in. You can always come back and watch the rest on the replay, but thanks for joining me. Okay, we have our sequins down just like that. Super fast, super fabulous. Where's the foam adhesive sheet from? I don't see it on your list. My friend, Syberia 808, I actually make these foam adhesive sheets myself. I have a pre-recorded video on my YouTube channel that you can check out showing you exactly how I create these foam adhesive sheets so you can make your very own. Okay, so now we have those. Let's do a little more, just a little play here. I have some white cardstock. I have my floral already on my Glimmer hot foil. It is not heated up, so we will have to heat that up. But while we're at it, we're going to get the Hugs and Bloom stencils out and ready to go. The Hugs and Bloom also has a coordinating die with this press plate set. So it is a press plate set. So that means you can use it in your letterpress or your Glimmer hot foil system. Here's a look at that here. You get the Hugs sentiment as well as the die to cut out the floral image and the die to cut out the Hugs sentiment as well. So let's let that heat up. I think I showed these earlier, but this is a look at the other press plate set with these shoes, the smaller shoes, hot foiled, and I've like seriously, oh, it's right here. This is called Fancy Shoes. So this, I used the die set called Chic Shoes on card number 2, but this is Fancy Shoes. So you could create a similar layout with these, but these are hot foiled onto colored cardstock here. So you can see how beautiful those look, or you can use your Better Press to use your inks to press these into some paper. So this is almond, nectar, and watermelon cardstocks. And there is a die to cut out all of these shoes. So that's another fun way to create with this as well. And then here's a look at those sentiments done in a black foil, just while we're waiting for my platform to heat up. Just wanted to show you those few things. I am going to actually stand up for just a second because I have dropped my die cutting plates here. Scared my dog to death. He's okay. But I did scare him when that happened. So we're just going to pick those up off the ground so he knows we're good. The shoes, I know, they're so much fun. And like I said, those hot foiled shoes, you could definitely use them in place of these shoes and create a similar card. Now these flowers, oh look, I have a sequin stuck to me. These flowers are from the same die set as these shoes. So, but you may have some flowers in your stash that you could use and you could create with these foiled shoes instead of the die cut shoes. But I wanted to show a variety of the products today. Now, when I do this, I would like to hot foil this in gold because we did it in silver. Question, do you ever color in the foiled inside areas, say with flour? Do you ever color in the foiled inside areas? I don't understand, Lee. Maybe you could rephrase that, or someone else, if you understand, maybe you could help me understand. I want to watercolor these foils. That would be beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So let's do this. We're just waiting for that to heat up. And then we'll get this foiled and we'll do a quick blend over these and show you how beautiful these florals could be. Again, a lot of people have Mother's Day on the mind, and I think that this would be, what am I doing now? I'm foiling this flower and show the stencils for this floral image, which we used in the background of our first two cards. So I'm just showing you how you can use the stencils to color in that floral element instead of using it as a background. So there's a couple ways you can use this as a standalone element, as a background. Either one works, either one's beautiful, and it has a lot of versatility for that because you have the stencils where you can color it in, or you have where you can just use it as an outline in the background. Okay, beautiful, simple card, well done. Thank you, Lori. I'm just gonna grab a drink real quick. And we're just waiting for this timer to finish up. And then we're gonna do some quick blending on this floral because I do wanna show you this blended. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And it gives me an opportunity to use these brand new background blenders a little bit more, which I think are so much fun. I'm having good results with them. They're from Waffle Flower Crafts and they're in the YouTube description below. These brushes do have a little more, they're a little more compact on their bristles. And when they're a little more compact on their bristles, they're gonna lay down a little more color naturally than a fluffier brush. So now that that timer is done, I am going to take this over to my to my Platinum 6. I'm going to add my foil with the pretty side, facing the pretty side of the press plate. I'm going to add my paper, then my thin shim and my spacer pad, and run that through my die cut machine right here. And then we should have a beautiful floral foiled image, just like that. So pretty. You know what's so funny is I did that over the one earlier that I had accidentally done the foil wrong, and so there's an impression on that. It's still foiled beautifully. Let's just do it one more time, just for fun. So I'll cut another piece of gold foil, and it's already hot, so we don't need to wait for this to reheat again. I have every confidence that it's still warm enough. I'm going to use a new piece of paper this time. Add my thin shim and my spacer pad, and then run that through. Oh, you guys like card number 2. A lot of people like the simplicity of card number 1. And I love that. I tend to do a little more intricate cards. And so I love to hear that from you guys. All right, so here is that floral. Beautiful. I got all the way up to the edge, but if I just die cut that, it won't be a big deal. Now we're gonna unplug this and get this out of the way so that we can do some quick stenciling with this floral. So I'm gonna place this here and we are going to look, and this is stencil 1. So let me get my bearings here because I want to look at how she has this oriented. It might help me. Okay, so this is actually how it goes on the packaging, and that will help me because these are marked to where I'll be able to line these up with the petals. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So there we go. I'm just looking down through the stencil, getting this lined up with my foiled outline, and then I'm going to hold that in place. The grip mat will help me with that. And let's start with Nectar ink. Here. So we're just going to go, we're going to use the same colors that we've been using all along. I'm going to go light to dark. I don't know if it's like designed to do one or the other. We're just wanting to see this all stenciled together. So starting out with the Nectar ink. And then if you want to add a little bit of heat, like I say, I like to add a little pop there. We can do just the tiniest bit of watermelon ink at the base of these to bring in just a little pop. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Love that so much. Okay, that is a great blend for the win. Okay, so that's stencil 1, Nectar and watermelon. Wow, that's pretty. Stencil 2, we're going to line this up. I'm getting my bearings. Let me see. Okay, stencil 2 goes like this. Just gonna line it up. And this time, what I think we'll do is do Nectar and watermelon again. Excuse me. But we're gonna go a little heavier with both of them, okay? So we don't have to switch colors. We can just go a little heavier with the same colors. So we'll go a little heavier with the Nectar. Just like that. Okay, so we're going heavier handed this time, not quite as light of a blend. And then we will do, I don't want to get too much watermelon in there, so we're going to use the little brush again and do a little more watermelon coming up, a little more than we did the last time, just to give some differentiation between the two layers that we did. And keep in mind, all of these inks, as they dry, will kind of dry back and blend and smooth out a little bit. So if it's not a perfect blend, I don't really worry about it because it always turns out really nice. Okay, stencil 3. We're gonna be in those areas that are not colored in yet for the florals. So that's kind of helpful. This time we're gonna do watermelon and wildberry. So we're gonna do a bigger brush with watermelon. And we're gonna have a little depth in the center. And we will add some wildberry to the base of these to give it just a little bit of fire to the blending. Kind of creates a pop there, some contrast and some shading. So there's that. Just like that. And then we will take Wildberry and just a little bit in here. And it gives just a beautiful touch of color there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love that blend. Some of my favorite blends right here. Oh, I'm glad to help you. I'm glad that helps you. Awesome. Yes, great for a Mother's Day card. Okay. Wow. Look at those florals. Okay. So we have this next stencil here. This one has kind of, let's see, are they all green pieces? And the centers, yes. Okay, so these are all leaves plus the centers of the florals, which isn't gonna get, the foil itself is gonna resist. So anywhere where there's foil, you're not gonna get a ton of color. But we're gonna use lemongrass and grasshopper. So we're gonna start with lemongrass. I don't have the green brushes over here, so we're just gonna do this. I am going to just cover up the areas of the centers of the floral because I don't necessarily want green in the centers of the floral, so I'm just gonna do this real quick. Just like that. And then I can be a little more free with my blending here. So just go a little, just like this. So lemongrass. And then we will take grasshopper with a smaller brush and add that just like we did on the petals. Just get a little bit of that deeper shade in there. Kind of brings it to life. And then wipe this up. Remove these, which were over our floral centers. Okay. And let's do honeycomb. And so I'll grab a yellow brush. Like I said, I don't know that we're gonna get a lot of this honeycomb in there, but we'll do it underneath. It'll kind of go around underneath the open areas of the foiling, just like that, just a single color. Wipe up our stencil and the big reveal. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? Love, love, love this. Let me get this all to the side. Let me peel this off. Holy moly, that just came to life. So that's the same floral we used in the background here, but with color. And I'm just gonna die cut it real quick, just because I can. And then we'll be done. Oh, I'm glad you guys are liking that. I like the Wildberry in place of dragon fruit. Yeah, it gives it a little more depth, I think. And you know who inspired me for that? It was Miss Mindy Egan. I saw her blend creamsicle and Wildberry. You guys, it's so beautiful. But creamsicle is not my go-to. But nectar is, and I thought creamsicle and nectar are close enough that if I did both of those colors together, it will look amazing. So let's die cut this. You guys are liking that, huh? So pretty, huh? It makes a great background, but it also makes a really beautiful floral, just like that. the gold there. All right. So there you have it. Some crafting today with the new release from Alex Syberia. I hope you'll check it out. I hope you'll use that code if you decide to shop. That's good today and tomorrow. It's Carissa_10 there. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I'm going to have to turn this into a card now. And I think it could be something super simple and it wouldn't take much to make a really gorgeous card with this floral. I mean, look at it just on that watermelon cardstock. I absolutely love it. All right. Thanks for joining me, all of you. Thanks for all of you who stuck around from beginning to end. And if you're watching on replay and you stuck around from beginning to end, I really appreciate you. I will be back here Monday live on YouTube at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So join me then. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you Monday. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my card making and paper crafting video tutorials. Thanks again, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.